The preseason is always a time for extreme reactions. Hype runs high. Panic sets in quickly. And nowhere is that more obvious than with the Dallas Cowboys right now. They've started 0-2 in preseason. Both losses were ugly. First, a 31-21 defeat to the Los Angeles Rams. Then, a 31-13 loss to the Baltimore Ravens. Fans are frustrated, and some are even hitting the panic button. But here's the truth: preseason football is misleading by design. Starters rarely play. Coaches hide their real playbooks. Game plans are vanilla. In other words, it's hard to judge anything too seriously. Still, some concerns look real. Others? Just noise. Let's break it down. Cowboys fans are worried about the offense, and on paper, the numbers don't inspire confidence. Across 2 games, the passing attack has produced only 274 yards and 2 touchdowns. The running game hasn't been much better, just 199 yards and 1 touchdown total. That averages out to 137 passing yards and 99 rushing yards per game. Not exactly explosive. But here's the catch: the starters haven't really played. Offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer has been careful. He's keeping his top players and his play designs off the field. That's not laziness. It's strategy. Why reveal your best plays in meaningless games? So yes, the backups and camp bodies have looked rough. But until Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and the full first-team offense are on the field together, it's unfair to panic about scoring production. While the offense gets too much criticism, the real story might be who isn't playing at all. Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, Tyler Guyton. All 3 are critical to this team, and all 3 have been absent for different reasons. Diggs, the team's star cornerback, is still recovering from off-season surgery. He hasn't practiced all camp and is expected to miss time in the regular season. That's a major blow, especially since depth at cornerback is thin. The Cowboys' secondary is vulnerable, and without Diggs, opponents will look to exploit it right away. Guyton, the rookie left tackle expected to protect Dak's blind side, is sidelined with a fractured leg. He'll miss at least part of the regular season. Nate Thomas has filled in admirably, but asking him to start Week 1 against the defending champion Eagles is a tall order. If Dak doesn't trust his protection, the entire offense could struggle. And then there's Parsons. The all-pro pass rusher, the heart of the defense, hasn't been participating because he's waiting on a new contract. The hope is he'll be signed and ready by Week 1, but sitting out all summer carries risk. Conditioning matters. Timing matters. And coming back cold could open the door to injury or, at the very least, a slower start to the season. One concern that absolutely is fair? The Cowboys' run defense. It was the 2nd worst in the league last season. And based on what we've seen so far, not much has changed. Yes, the team has a new defensive coordinator. Yes, they've retooled the linebacker group. But the cracks up the middle of the defense are still there. If fans are overreacting to the offense, they might actually be underreacting to who isn't playing at all. Take Trayvon Diggs. The star cornerback is still recovering from off-season surgery. He hasn't practiced all camp and is expected to miss regular season time. That leaves the Cowboys' secondary dangerously thin. Without Diggs, opposing offenses will test Dallas early and often. Then there's Tyler Guyton, the rookie left tackle drafted to protect Dak's blind side. He's out with a fractured leg and will likely miss the start of the season. His replacement, Nate Thomas, has been a fun story but isn't the guy you want starting Week 1 against the Philadelphia Eagles' ferocious pass rush. If Prescott doesn't trust his protection, the passing attack will sputter. And of course, Micah Parsons. The all-pro pass rusher and face of the defense has been mostly a bystander, waiting for a new contract extension. The assumption is that Parsons will be ready to go once signed. But after sitting out all summer, conditioning and timing are real concerns. Even a player as gifted as Parsons can't flip the switch overnight. These absences aren't about preseason overreactions. They're very real problems that could bleed into the regular season. Some things are exactly what they look like, and that's true of the Cowboys' run defense. Last year, Dallas ranked second worst in the NFL against the run. And so far this preseason, they haven't shown much improvement. Yes, the team changed defensive coordinators. Yes, they tweaked the linebacking core. But the core issue, the inability to stop power runs up the middle, remains. Opposing offenses are finding gaps. Linebackers are missing assignments. And the defensive tackles still don't look like consistent run stoppers. Unlike the secondary, where injured players will eventually return, this is a problem with no easy solution. The Cowboys may add a veteran run defender before the season, but ultimately, the guys on the roster will need to step up or Dallas will once again struggle against the ground game. Stopping the run has been this defense's Achilles heel. And unless someone steps up or the team finds a veteran run stopper before the season begins, it's likely going to remain a problem. So, what's the bottom line? Some of the panic is misplaced. The offense will look very different once the starters take the field. But injuries and absences to key players are a real problem, and the run defense remains a glaring weakness. Cowboys fans have every reason to be anxious, but also every reason to wait and see before making final judgments. The real answers won't come until Week 1 against the Eagles, when the starters finally step on the field.